Peace, y'all. This is DJ D-Skillz coming to you live and direct from Prague for another international episode of The Big Dig. Welcome to Prague, the largest city and capital of the... No, not that one. I'm not talking about Prague, Oklahoma. Yes, that one. The largest city and capital of the Czech Republic, also known by its official short form name, Czechia. Prague is one of the most beautiful cities in the world and one of my favorite places to visit. Thankfully, getting to Prague and to Europe in general from the US is now a lot easier thanks to the reincarnation of Iceland-based WOW Airlines, which, as some of you may know from previous episodes of my show, went out of business back in 2019. With a new round of investors and new management, the executives of WOW have resurrected the airline and rebranded it as Play. Trading in WOW's purple livery for a new shade of red, Play has continued the tradition of offering low-cost flights from select U.S. cities to Europe via Keflavik Airport in Iceland. While Play does fly to Prague, I decided to start my journey in my old stomping ground of Berlin, Germany, where I had a few things to check off my to-do list. After deciphering the world clock at Alexanderplatz, I headed up north to the Berlin suburb of Hohen-Neuendorf, where I'm having lunch at the Himmelspagoda. Allegedly patterned after the Temple of Heaven in Beijing, the Himmelspagoda is actually a restaurant that offers traditional Chinese fare in an elegant setting. Today I'm having the stir-fried noodles with chicken and vegetables. Very good. Next up, I'm checking in with my good friend and world-famous party rocker, DJ Lito Bolton, who was celebrating his birthday while I was in town. I stopped in to check out his set at Flowers Lounge, located in Berlin's Kurfürstendamm shopping district.
Welcome to the place to be, DJ Lito Bolton. Big shout out to my brother, DJ D-Skillz, Washington. This is in the house. Welcome, baby. We're just warming up, yo. Stick around if you want to have a great time,
Alright, we're here in Berlin as usual with my man DJ Lito Bolton, man. So you know I'm headed to Prague, brother. You said you've been to Prague a few times?
Yeah, I've been to Prague a few times, bro. I've been to Prague, man. It's amazing out there.
Yeah, man, I love it down there. It's so beautiful, man.
Yes,
so you
sir.
said you DJ'd in a few spots down there.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
I DJ'd a few times. One time I DJ'd in a very big castle, man, like very special event, you know. It's amazing, man. I love Prague. Definitely a place to be. If you got a chance, come check it out. You're gonna love
man.
it.
Yeah, we got to get down there together one of these days,
Most
bro.
definitely, bro. Most definitely, man. I know a lot of DJs there. We're gonna get together to a party over there.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so next I'm off to the Hauptbahnhof for the 4-hour train ride from Berlin to Prague through the picturesque German and Czech countryside. After a few stops, we end up here at Prague Main Station, or Praha Hlavní nádraží, which I only know how to pronounce because it's constantly mentioned over the loudspeakers inside the station. The station itself is worth checking out, so you can stash your luggage or your secret spy documents in one of these secure lockers while you wander around a bit. Be sure to head upstairs to the station's historic old main hall, which is ornately decorated and features a cafe where you can grab a drink or a bite to eat. The station also has several monuments honoring U.S. President Woodrow Wilson, who was an influential figure in the formation of the nation of Czechoslovakia after World War I. So, quick history lesson, the two current nations of Czechia and Slovakia were once a single nation known as Czechoslovakia up until 1992. Google is your friend. Alright, so once you're done exploring the station, you can venture out by any number of transportation options. Since I'm a fan of public transit, I'm following the red M signs to the metro, which you can catch directly inside Prague Main Station. Buying a ticket is pretty easy. You see the machines are multilingual, so just pick English, then hit buy tickets. I'm only here for a couple of days, so I'm getting a 24-hour ticket, which you can see is 120 Czech crowns, which is just a little over $5 US. Once you have a ticket, you can head inside the metro station, but be sure to validate your ticket with a date and time stamp as you enter, and do keep your ticket on you as they have random ticket inspections to keep you honest. The 3-line Prague Metro is pretty easy to navigate. The trains and the stations are modern, clean, efficient, and affordable, and they make getting around Prague pretty easy. Just one stop over on the Red Line from Prague Main Station, is Florence, which is where I usually stay when I'm in town. I really love this neighborhood because it's got everything I need. While the Florence metro station is just 2 blocks from my hotel, there's also a tram stop right outside the front door. There's a baguette shop just a few steps away, which is a great option for breakfast, and for late night eats, there's also a kebab shop right on the same block. Across the street, you'll find Golden Exchange, which offers very competitive rates on foreign currency. So as I mentioned, the Czech Republic is not on the euro, and since I'm coming from Germany, I'm changing some euros for the local Czech koruna or crowns, since Golden Exchange usually offers better rates than withdrawing money from the ATM. You can see from my receipt I traded in 200 euros and got back 4,960 crowns, which is pretty close to the going rate of 5,070 at the time, a difference of 110 crowns or about $4.73. So that's how much that transaction cost me. While credit and debit cards are widely accepted, it's not a bad idea to have some cash on you just in case. Just be mindful of the exchange rates, and if you travel frequently, you should definitely consider having at least one card that doesn't charge any international transaction fees. Also, for making withdrawals from your U.S. account, it's a good idea to find out if your bank has any partner banks abroad so you can avoid any additional ATM fees. Bank of America, for example, partners with Deutsche Bank, so while you still probably be charged an international transaction fee for a withdrawal, you can at least avoid any additional ATM usage fees. Alright, so now that I have my money straight, I'm checking into my room at my favorite spot to stay in Prague, Urban Cream Hotel. Today they've got me in room 315, so let's head inside and check it out. So one thing you do want to be mindful of is that in Europe, the lights in your room usually won't work until you stick your key card into the little slot by the door, so remember to do that. So now that the lights are on, let's check out my room. It does have the 2 little twin beds pushed together, which is common in Europe. They do have double beds here, but there was some mix-up with my reservations, so they thought it was for 2 people instead of 1. No big deal, I'm used to it. So you got the sink over here, you got the shower, the toilet, so yeah, everything I need. Alright, so let's unpack and hit the streets. So most of the action in Prague is located in this central district known as Prague 1. So I'm hopping on the metro and heading over to Museum Station, which will let you out right in the heart of all the action at Wenceslas Square. Looks like they're doing some construction here during my visit. I think they're putting in a new tram line, so be interested to see that when it's all finished. The square is named for good King Wenceslas of Christmas Carol fame, the patron saint of the Czech Republic, who was immortalized in this statue that sits right in front of the Czech National Museum, which is as ornate on the inside as it is on the outside. Definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. On the other end of the square, you'll find an interactive tour highlighting the history of one of the Czech Republic's most popular exports, Pilsner Urquell. Not to be confused with this guy, Pilsner Urquell, not Urkel, is the original Pilsner beer. That is the first Pilsner to be brewed in the world. The tour is curated by the same folks who did the Heineken Brewery tour in Amsterdam, although unlike that tour, the Pilsner Urquell tour is not in an actual brewery. For that, you'd have to venture to the Czech town of Pilsen, which is where the name Pilsner originates, and where the original Pilsner Urquell is still brewed to this day. The tour culminates at a rooftop restaurant where you can enjoy an original Pilsner along with a pretty good meal. I'm having mine with the fish and chips. They do recommend enjoying Pilsner Urquell with a good amount of foam, as the foam sweetness balances out the bitterness of the hops. You can pick one of 3 pours depending on how much foam you want, and here you'll learn the traditional Czech toast, which is na zdraví. Another thing you don't want to miss while in Prague is the Old Town Square, where people from all over gather to watch the chiming of the medieval era astronomical clock. It was a cloudy day on my most recent visit, but I did catch the clock chiming on an earlier visit while the sun was out. Check it out. So you can't quite see from here, but there's little statuettes of the 12 apostles that parade by in the window there at the top left of the clock. You get it. Another thing not to miss while in Prague is the street food. If you're hungry after watching the clock chime, you can usually find one of these kiosks selling old Prague ham in the Old Town Square. Or if you have a sweet tooth, seek out a traditional Prague chimney cake, which you can get with a variety of different fillings. Very tasty. There are also many very elaborate candy shops around, and if you're a carnivore like me, the one thing you definitely want to try is the Prague sausage. I have mine on a baguette with a little ketchup, a little mustard, and a couple of pickles. Very good. Alright, now if you want to walk off some of those calories, you can head over to the world famous Charles Bridge, so named after Bohemian King and Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV, depicted here in this statue next to the bridge. Even on a rainy day, the bridge offers spectacular views of Prague Castle and the Vltava River, which flows through the center of the city. Here's the view when the sun is out. The castle itself is also a must-see attraction, and on this trip, I'm actually doing something I haven't done before, which is tour the castle grounds at night. It's a very different experience during the nighttime because the castle is, well, lit. Not in the way the kids mean. I mean, it's literally lit up with very bright lighting. In fact, it makes me wonder what the electricity bill for this place is like. So it used to be you'd have to pay an admission fee to enter the castle grounds, but nowadays the grounds are free to the public, although you do have to buy a ticket to enter the cathedral, which is well worth the price of admission. Built mostly in the 1300s, St. Vitus Cathedral is the heart of the castle complex, which includes numerous government buildings, including the residence and offices of the Czech president. Whether you visit in the daytime or at night, the views of the city from Prague Castle are always breathtaking. Prague is very much a city of music and is the final resting place of famous Czech composers Antonín Dvořák and Bedřich Smetana, both of whom are buried in Prague's Vyšehrad Cemetery. You can always find music being played in the city, and tour guides might steer you toward the popular church concerts, but the cheat code is to check or consult the Czech Philharmonic schedule before your visit. For less than the cost of a church concert, you can often score tickets to hear the Czech Philharmonic at their home in Dvořák Hall at the Rudolfinum, a much more elegant setting. No photos are allowed though, so don't tell them about this one. Speaking of music, the time has come to get our dig on, and the place to go in Prague for records is Phono.cz. Tucked away on a quiet Prague side street, Phono has a great selection of vinyl to dig through. Take your time thumbing through the selections of pop, new wave, reggae, hip-hop, R&B, electronic, progressive rock, jazz, and of course, some homegrown Czech music. They also have a selection of turntables for sale and a few set up as listening stations. Their collection features both 12-inch and 7-inch vinyl and is definitely worth a visit if you're in town. While you might catch owner and DJ Martin Mikolas headlining a music festival in the city, he was being a bit shy when I stopped by, so no interview, but he did tell me that the shop recently celebrated 15 years of serving the community of Prague DJs and vinyl enthusiasts. They've even released some music on their own label, which Martin was nice enough to play for me in the store, and it features some pretty good jams. For more information, you can check them out online at, well, phono.cz. So that wraps up my journey eating, drinking, and digging my way through beautiful Prague. I hope you've enjoyed digging with me in this wonderful city. You'll find that Prague is awesome and full of things to do and see, with people who are very liberal, fun-loving, open-minded, and quite friendly. Until the next episode, this is DJ D-Skillz saying keep on digging. Na zdraví!